Nice, man. It's a lot better. I was an uncle forever. I had nieces and nephews. Basically, I was a drunk uncle in my family. We got any drunk uncles out there in this bunch tonight? That's not a bad job, But you always have to be better than the uncle you grew up with, And I couldn't top my uncle, Uncle Chuck, 89 years old. 50% Irish, 50% Italian. Yeah. Pale and pasty white and very hairy at the same time. Looks like a marshmallow's been kicked around on the barbershop floor, Getting that picture, ladies? Yeah. Yeah, if you're not laughing, you're sitting next to that guy right now. That's my uncle, to tell you, man. He's kind of tore up from the floor up. You know that kind of guy? Kind of beat up from the feet up a little bit. He's 89, got a glass eye, a toupee, and false teeth, all three. Yeah, that ain't an uncle. That's Mr. Potato Head going on right there. He can't hit a speed bump without something flying on out. You're riding shotgun. You're playing catch. We had to sell this convertible last year. We were tired of pulling over and looking in the weeds all day. People need to mow, Yeah, he had the same glass eye for 33 years. You ever seen a glass eye? Yeah, 33 years. Getting kind of mossy on the north side there, you know what I'm saying? So we got him a new one for Christmas. Well, not a new one. We got it on eBay. Got him a Magic 8-ball glass eye. You ever seen that on there? It rocks. Sometimes he shakes his head no, but he says, try again. Ask again later. But he's fun to have in a family. Hey, you got to have freaks in your family the way I look at it. Y'all got freaks in your family? Just half of the room? Well, if you ain't got any, it's probably you. I'll tell you that much right now. I don't think God passed on anybody's family when they handed out the freaks, did he? I got enough to share if you ain't got any, I'll tell you that. But if you ain't got it, then you might be the guy screwing things up, Like, I like having my uncle there because I just watch him be the guy, Christmas, he got me a pair of microwave slippers. You ever heard of these? Y'all could use them up here, by the way. You heat them up in the microwave for 30 seconds before you put them on your feet. That's good for you and too bad for the next guy to use that microwave oven right there. That's some nasty nachos going on. Well, that wasn't nearly too bad. Now, Thanksgiving last year was a breakthrough for him. We asked him if he could bring the turkey for once in his life, and sure enough, he brought 3 bottles of wild turkey. Yeah. No leftovers last year. We're doing shots at the kiddie table watching SpongeBob SquarePants all afternoon. That's educational TV where I live. Yeah, I tell you what. By the way, I live in Nashville. How many folks have ever been to Nashville, Tennessee by a round of applause? Anybody? Yeah. I grew up in Kentucky, but then I broke a tooth and bought a truck and moved further south. Got to follow the rules. But Nashville's cool. My favorite country musician is Alan Jackson. Any Alan Jackson fans out there? Good. I knew I liked you people. He's creative. He gets to make up his own words in his songs when he needs to rhyme something. My favorite one ever he did, he goes, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than... How hot is a hoochie coochie? That's what I want to know. If that's a real word, the Weather Channel ought to use it every afternoon. Like you think it was hot today, tomorrow it's hotter than a daggone hoochie coochie. All right, let's go. Let's take a look at the hoochie coochie heat index over here. We're going to do-si-do to double Doppler. All right. Hey, Saturday up in Sault Ste. Marie, it's colder than a well digger's ass. How about that? Check it out. Back to you, Jim. And my wife, she likes Billy Ray Cyrus. You ever hear that dude? He had a CD called It Won't Be the Last, and it was. Well, there you go. He's not very good at telling the future at all. Yeah, I grew up on rock and roll. We got rock and roll people out there? I know we do in Michigan. Yes, we do. First band I ever saw in concert was Kiss when I was in 4th grade. Yeah, I know it. I'm an old guy. I saw them last summer, and they need that makeup this time around, I'll tell you that. That's a wagon load of ugly on tour right there. Whole concert sponsored by Mary Kay just to help them out. 4 hairy guys in a pink tour bus. They used to spit blood on people. How nasty was that? Now they're old, they got them Depends. I ain't sitting in the front row anymore. Like, put your lighter away, that's natural gas. You're gonna blow us up. Come on, think. Yeah, but they got a lot weirder guys in music today, don't they? I saw a video for this dude named Marilyn Manson. You ever seen that dude? You take a long look at him, you're like, well, when did Howard Stern and Gene Hackman have a baby? He is not one of the beautiful people, I tell you that. But you know what gets me about Marilyn Manson? He has next door neighbors like everybody else. Could you imagine moving in next door to Marilyn Manson? You wouldn't know. You just wonder why he got such a good deal on your house all of a sudden. Be walking down your driveway. Hey, have you seen my dog? I ate him. Blah. Yeah. See you at my garage sale. That dude's a freak. No, he's a pot smoker. You reckon that dude's a pot smoker? He's got, his eyebrows have fire. He tattooed fire on his eyebrows. That's kind of freaky right there. I never did the marijuana myself. Do I look like I know anything about drugs? Uh-huh. You think I do, ma'am? You didn't hesitate whatsoever. You boom right on the buzzer, weren't you? Looked like I know about side effects is what you meant to say. I know what people think. Somebody last show I did said you look like that little turtle in the back of them magazines you used to have to draw to get into the Art Institute of America. Remember that little tippy? So I got that going for me. Yeah, I don't know. I never did pot. Now, one time I got in trouble for marijuana, but I wasn't smoking it. I was in 8th grade science class. We had an assignment for a leaf collection, right? Yeah. I figured Dad's growing it, whip it on in there. I didn't know. I'm trying to find out why he's watering the attic instead of the front yard all of a sudden. I came home from school. I was looking for the hose for my slip and slide originally, but it was upstairs in the attic. So I go up there. He's got all these plants and lights and fans. I'm like, these must be some important trees he's hiding up here. Grabbed a big leaf and put it in my collection. Yeah. Spent 3 weeks trying to look it up in the tree book. It wasn't in there, so I asked my teacher what it was. I figured I'm going to get extra credit. It's not in the tree book, you know. She's like, young man, that is pot, it's marijuana, it's cannabis, it's Mary Jane, it's sweet leaf, it's wacky tobacco. I'm like, well, just pick one. I didn't leave that much room down here to label that pot, marijuana. She's like, it's illegal? I said, I didn't know. What are you going to do? Flunk me? She goes, nope, I'm going to take this whole thing outside and I'm going to burn it right in front of your face. Yeah. Half hour later, we're both in the cafeteria looking for Rice Krispie treats. I'm not a pothead, I'm just a leaf collector, right? I'm all paranoid at recess. Those squirrels are looking at us like we're nuts. You ever try to outrun a squirrel when you got cotton mouth? Forget it. That's a long walk in the park. Well, have fun out there. Drink up tonight. You drinking up pretty good? You got a pitcher there? Is that what you guys? What kind of beer you got on tap here? That's the way to do it right there. I like drinking pitchers, and I don't mind a glass of wine and maybe a shot, but I don't like when they mix stuff around. They got one drink now called a Jaeger bomb. You ever hear about a Jaeger bomb? Jägermeister and Red Bull mixed together. So you can be drunk, ticked off, and wide awake to 4:30 in the morning. Who's that? I drink to pass out, not to do chores. You know, come on. I mean, that's like taking your taxes to happy hour. Come on, it ruins the fun. I don't drink too much anymore because I got in big trouble last time I drank. Whew. Y'all ever been so drunk you pulled a cop over? Anybody else out there? Just me? They ain't got time for that foolishness at all. That is a paperwork nightmare, I'm telling you what. Hey, it could happen to you guys. You ever drive across Indiana? Applaud if you've ever driven across Indiana. Yeah. Man. First off, bless your heart for not shooting yourself in the face after that scenic afternoon. Could they plant a tree on the side of their interstates or something? You don't even know if you're moving because you haven't passed anything in 3.5 hours. Like, hey, a cow. Rock on, cow. All right. Indiana's so flat, I found out the hard way. The highway patrol drives Mustangs, Trans Ams, and Camaros so they can sneak up on you. I didn't know. I'm in the right lane doing the right speed. Guy goes whipping by me, 90 miles an hour in a Trans Am. I'm like, woo, I ought to get right behind that guy for a little while. I figure he's got a radar detector in there somewhere. He had a radar, and I didn't detect it, apparently. So I'm trying to keep up with him. I've got a 3-cylinder Chevy pickup truck, right? I got a donut on the left front tire. I got a big camper top on the back. It's a woman getter is what I'm trying to say. You know, not the kind of woman you want to get, but she climb on in there. But I'm going fast. I'm doing pretty good. I get close to him, and he started slowing down and speeding up and switching lanes. He's swerving. I'm like, well, that guy is obviously drunk. I ought to pull him over right now. Apparently, he was trying to get behind me to pull me over the whole time. But I don't know because he's unmarked. And I think that should be illegal. Do y'all think that should be illegal? Yeah. Taxpayers are paying for those guys to drive around in Trans Ams. Taxpayers should get to pick what they have to drive around in. Big Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles hauling down the interstate. That's what I think. Hey, it'd work good. You see it 5 miles away and slow the hell down. You know? Unless you've been out drinking. And you're like, hey, horn dog, hook me up, brother. They just throw on the handcuffs and you go for the mustard, right? But see, I didn't know, so I'm trying to pull the guy over. I never even thought about pulling somebody over. You ever think about pulling somebody? No. Usually got a little guy in the back of your head tells you not to do those stupid things. My little guy passed out long time ago. I'm trying to flag him down. I'm flipping the high beams at him for a little while. And roll down my window. I must have swallowed 13 skeeters before he got over on the gravel. Indiana has the biggest skeeters in the Continental 48. I tell you, they could have stood on their tippy toes and French kissed a chicken. Big old skeeters. You get them here too, the ones that hit your windshield and blow up, look like they've been eating mashed potatoes and gravy all day long. Had some Sudafed in there for some reason, you know. But the guy pulls over. My siren, he pulls over. I figure I better hop out and arrest him before he scurries on out of here. Yeah. Hop out of my truck and slam the door, walk up to his window. I just start pounding on his window. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's been loading his revolver on the other side. He cracks the window and I see he's an officer. I got zero game plan all of a sudden. But I figured go ahead and arrest him before he starts arresting me. Because once you've been arrested, you can't arrest nobody else, can you? I never seen it. But I don't know how to execute that plan. All I know is from watching Mayberry my whole life. Like Barney Fife, how you? I just walked up there. Oh! Would you mind rolling down the window? Yeah. Roll it down. You want to get out of the vehicle there, buddy? Wow, you're a big fella too, aren't you? Look at you. Yeah, it's hotter than a hoochie coochie out here tonight, ain't it? Yeah, you know why I pulled you over? Little guy in my head passed out. I thought I was going to go to prison right there. He's like, you're so weird, I'll just drop you off wherever you want to go. Like, how about a Waffle House? You know, something like that. I'm in that police car. There ain't nothing funny in there. Whew. He's asking me all kinds of questions and making me nervous. And I get nervous. I get hiccups. I'm coughing up skeeters all over his dashboard and left and right. He's like, what are you doing in Indiana with Tennessee license plates? I clocked you doing 93 miles an hour. I'm like, dude, that is good in a 3-cylinder Chevy pickup truck, right? That's the best I ever did. And he wrote it down on a piece of paper. That's going to help me with my trade-in value right there, ain't it? Then he says, where did you consume your last beverage this evening? And I didn't want to say, in the pickup truck, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm many things, but I'm not an idiot. You know, he was looking pretty thirsty, you know. So I told him I was working at the comedy club there in town, but I was headed back to Nashville. He goes, what do you mean working? I said, well, I was telling jokes. I was a comedian. He's like, you're a comedian? I'm like, yes, sir. And it got quiet. I mean, you could have heard a mouse peeing on cotton for 20 or 30 seconds while he's figuring it. But he's like, he's nice. He's like, well, that's kind of a different job. Hey, have you ever been on HBO or Showtime? And I don't know what to say. I'm like, nah. You ever been on Cops? Ah! Hey, you ought to. You're real good. I think that's going to be on again next 4th of July if you want to see me on Cops. When ignorance attacks. I just got a little bit of time with you now. Let's play a quick song or two on the guitar. Y'all, little music action. I may have to re-originate where I'm standing to make this chord fit. How about another round of applause, by the way, for Rossi's for having comedy not only once, 2, 3 times a week. All right, thank you very much. Big round of applause for the sound man. Went to DeVry University for 18 years so he could do this. That's pretty exciting. He was a place kicker on the football team, but he did good there. All right, got time for one little... How many guys out there are sitting next to a beautiful woman? Give her a big hand right now and let her know you appreciate her. That's the smart guys clapping right there, ain't it, ladies? You don't make some noise now, you're going to hear some on the way out of here. Basically, if you don't give her a hand, got to give yourself one, I guess. Well, I'm going to dedicate this song to a very special woman in my life. I know y'all got special people in your life, too, but I don't know what I'd do without this lady. I mean, shoo, she means so much to me. She had just moved in across the street from me and my wife 2 weeks ago. If you could see me now, you'd probably pull your shades back down. Thank you very much. That's my favorite song of the night. They're all kind of short, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, I like a lot of music. I like country songs. Country music fans, again, where y'all at? I know we got a few in here. I like the upbeat country songs, and right now they seem to be slowing them down a lot. So here's one I'm working on right here. I'm gonna Gonna go to Walmart and blow my paycheck, 'cause I'm a hard-working redneck and I'm out with my trailer tonight. Gonna slip off my flip-flops, pull on some boots, iron my tank top and brush my tooth, 'cause I'm out of my trailer tonight. Gonna go downtown and do a line dance with a big can of Skoal in the back of my pants, 'cause I'm out with my trailer tonight. And if things are going well around 11 o'clock, you probably see me buck naked on an episode of Cops. I'm out my trailer tonight. There you go, there's a little country song. That's all I know of that song, but there's no funny words to it, but I like playing that. I mean, I grew up on Leonard Skinner, and actually, I kind of grew up in a weird time. I'm 37, so my graduating year of high school was 86. That meant it was Leonard Skinner and Poison. Remember Poison? They used to come out like... They got tired after 2 chords. Should have called themselves Asthma or something more deadly. And that was the end of rock and roll for a long time, but then it came back with like Pearl Jam in the early 90s. Got any Pearl Jam fans out there? It's my favorite Pearl Jam song. What is that guy saying? Come on, Eddie. Even Jeremy spoke in class one time. Spit it out. Yeah, but you know, you gotta have fun, you know, and I gotta get out here in just a second, but hey, we're the people that don't like country music, by the way. I want to help you all out. Anybody who doesn't really care for it, doesn't understand it, or understand why it's popular, or... That's the same people that clapped a while ago that liked it. That's right. Some people actually have said to me, I can't even tell a good country song from a bad one, and that's kind of sad, because it's really easy. Every good country song ever written is gonna have one of these things somewhere. Ever hear one of those? That's how you know it's a good one. Right? That's how I know. You don't hear that in any other music. You never crank up heavy metal. You can't sacrifice a goat to that. Come on. Ladies, you ever been out dancing? My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. I can't believe I keep drinking that girl's milkshake. That is wrong. Well, they're $4 a piece. They ought to get a Mr. Misty and step off. That's all I'm saying. And I did a little research. I think y'all probably know who started that in country songs. We had a couple songs before the show started by this guy. You know who started that in country music? Exactly, Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash, we were talking about, he's so good, I bet he made it up, didn't even realize it. Somebody had to point it out. He's just hanging out one day going, man, these songs are all right. I believe I need a... Maybe he had a burrito and got gas and wrote Burning Ring of Fire. And it burns, 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 that burning ring of fire. That's why he always wore a jacket, in case he had an accident back there. That's really not very polite to say that, is it? Yeah, a friend of mine got mad about that, Joe. He goes, you got to figure out another reason, because that's just wrong. I'm like, well, how do you think it started, that little sound? He goes, well, sometimes those country singers got on tight breeches and big old belt buckles. I bet they're getting wedgies right in the back, right in the middle of the song. I'm like, that couldn't happen, but sure enough, 2 weeks later, I'm singing. Well, don't just stand there, grab a pull stick. You don't want your BBTs and your Wranglers in a fist fight back there. Got to get a 21-inch cue and keep them separated. Y'all are a great group tonight. You're going to enjoy the rest of the show. I know that for sure. Hey, if you enjoy what I do at all and you want a little bit more souvenir, I got a brand new CD out called Fishing with Dynamite. It's got a bunch of good stuff on there. You're going to stand there, you're going to fish. And I got a fun T-shirt. You can wear this one anywhere. It says, I'm not a pothead, I'm a leaf collector on that T-shirt. You know, let your kids wear it to school, and they come home and you spend an extra 4 days at home with them if you need to see your kids. You can wear that to work on Thursday, get Friday off, no questions asked. Hey, y'all been a whole lot of fun. My name's Rick Roberts. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Great job, Rick.
Hey, thanks, man.
Keep it going for Rick Roberts. You know, I remembered his name. It's been about 2 years since he was here, but I got that T-shirt. One day I wore it to the bank, and everybody was looking at me funny as hell. But anyway, put it together again for Rick Roberts. Great job.
February 23rd through April 13th, we're having a karaoke contest here. And there's rules and regulations. You can check that out up here at the bar, or you can go to our website and see the rules there too. And we're going to be giving away some cash prizes, a $250 cash prize for the karaoke contest. So if you're into that, come on out and check it out. Also, remember, we have comedy here 3 nights a week. We have it Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and all 3 nights are different comedians. So come on out and enjoy it. And then Wednesday night after the comedy show, it's followed by karaoke. And then on Friday and Saturday, the comedy show is followed by live bands. So come out and enjoy our shows. Also on Thursday night, we have karaoke too, by the way. Between the 2 comedians, we do a toast here to our men and women from the armed forces, so please make sure you have a drink in front of you when we do our toast. That we can roll right into it. Let's have some fun. He's been on NBC, at BET, and Comedy Central. Please welcome to stage, it's Robert Hines. Oh, didn't have one, sorry. Grab your table.
What's happening? I think that now with the terror issue that we have in our country, and because we have serious concerns and our country is at war, I think we should have more ghetto flight attendants. I think my little sister should be a flight attendant, because she will fight for you. Now, she gonna ask you to hold her hair, because she ain't got a wig up for nobody. But the whole little cutesy-tootsy pre-flight announcements is going to be a whole lot different. You know where you going. You know what flight number this is. If y'all start smoking, I smoke just like y'all do. You know you can't smoke on the plane. So if you mess with the smoke detectors, I will get that ass. If you see that little light come on, say, put on your seatbelt, you better put the damn thing on, because I will get that ass. If you're a terrorist and you think you're going to hijack something, I will get that ass. Now, if you're an NBA basketball player or a record producer or something, you will get this ass. It's my little sister, Jack. I used to have a day job. I used to be a correctional officer. I worked in a jail for 10 years, just less than 10 years. I hated my job. And it wasn't the inmates that made the job hard. It was the punk-ass supervisors and some of my fellow employees that were really trying their best to become punk-ass supervisors, right? And I was working there, man, and some of these supervisors would come in and tell me to do dumb. Now, keep in mind, more times than not, when the supervisor came to tell me to do something, I probably trained him and taught him how to work in a jail. And he never really had inmate contact. He's never really been hit in the face, never been in a riot, and you're going to tell me how to run my little area. And you're trying to tell me how to run this area by the book. Problem is, the book ain't really never had its ass whooped. So you come in here with your dumbass ideas, and you about to get your ass kicked. And this guy tells me, like, you had 2 shirts. You had, like, a shirt that you would wear outside, and then you had a T-shirt. So this guy's like, tell that inmate he needs to put on his additional shirt. I'm like, you stupid. I'm not finna go he got 180 years. You go over there and tell him to put on a shirt. I will, officer. I'm not afraid. Hey, you, fella. Put on a... Oh, Jesus. Somebody, help. And I'm looking at him like, now, I'm going to save you. But it wasn't really important that he put on that shirt. Or is the blood that you're losing right now more important, you know? You need some help. And then there was the other thing that was tickling me, man, is like my fellow employees. Some of these cats were just crazy in love, just too happy to be working at a jail. They had all type of extra shit on their belt. You know, I didn't have that I was supposed to have on my belt because I had gained a lot of weight over the years. And I still hadn't bought any new uniforms. So my uniform was tight and filthy. I had all type of food across the front of it. You could dip my uniform in warm water and make soup. It was so filthy. And it was tight as hell, and my meat would ooze out between the buttonholes. It was so tight it looked like scuba gear. That's how tight the uniform was. And I didn't have none of the extra. If I got into a fight or an altercation and I needed handcuffs, I had to borrow some handcuffs. Because my handcuffs were at home where I used them the most. Beside the fact that because I'm fat, let me explain something to you about most fat people that people don't really understand if you're not fat. Well, maybe not most, but me in particular. My middle of me is a hell of a lot bigger than my rest of me. So if I walk around with a whole lot of shit on my belt, my pants are going to slowly but surely slide down, and I'm going to start showing butt cleavage. Now, the last thing you want to do to a guy that got 180 years is show him some butt cleavage. You understand what I'm talking about? So I didn't have all that extra shit. And I hated the job, man. When I first started there, they tried to get rid of me. They had these classes they give you on how to be the police. And one of the classes is on sexual harassment, given by a lady with the biggest boobies I ever seen in my life. I was like, oh my God. Look at the happy pillows on this woman. And I thought I was thinking it to myself. But apparently I spoke aloud. My first week on the job, they suspended my black ass for sexually harassing the sexual harassment teacher. I'm like, you know what? I hate you. Now, I pride myself on being drug and alcohol free. Then I went to Amsterdam. I had no idea what went on in Amsterdam. I went into a club, it was just like this, excuse me, and they were selling weed like they sell beer here. So my friends had been there before, so they was like, okay, Rob, we're gonna buy some weed and we're gonna smoke it. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna smoke with y'all. He was like, Rob, you might not wanna smoke this weed. When's the last time you smoked weed? I said, 1986. I'm from the south side of Chicago. Roll it up, it ain't nothing. So they rolled it up and they handed the joint to me. And I couldn't get any smoke out the cigarette paper at first, right? So he takes the lid end of the cigarette, put it in his mouth, then blew the shit in my face. Now, when I woke up, I saw a 6'5" brown bunny rabbit